everyone. My name is Sarah Ritt. I'm an artist and a tarot reader. Happy New Year. This is this week's collective reading. Beautiful. So what I'm seeing is we're walking away from some turmoil, you know. I feel like this is the turmoil of the past year. I know for myself and for a lot of other people, it's just been so intense. That intensity of 2020 never let up. And I know that's not a new message, but I'm seeing it in the cards. So we have Eight of Cups here. This person has their back turned away from these unevenly stacked cups. So there's the discord of the unevenness. Cups also are water, so they speak to emotionality. They speak to that undercurrent of things, and they speak to our psychic knowing as well. So yeah, I feel like there's that message of greener pastures on the other side, 2022. And then we have Seven of Cups touching the Eight of Cups here. So this is a funny card, right? There's all of these different things going on. We have options. I feel like that's predominantly what it is, but also there's a lot of unknown. There's a lot of confusion. There's a lot of needing to be clear about what we want from this new year. So I also feel like there's some of that. It feels like we're headed into a lot of unknowns. And there's the excitement of that, right? And there's also the fear of that. There's also the uncertainty of that. So depending on where we are, and this is a collective reading, so depending on where each and every one of us are, we're going to be feeling very differently about which side of that we're on. But I'm also just seeing a lot of really beautiful energy ahead of us. So there is this feeling of, and what I'm getting, the words that I'm getting are releasing ourselves from burden. So yeah, so we have Judgment here. This is a very freeing energy, and actually I'm getting some funny words too. Explosively freeing is actually what I'm getting. It's like we're bursting forward into a new era of self and maybe what it means to be alive and living this life in 2022. So we have this energy. It's next to Ace of Cups. So fulfillment, satisfaction. Again, I feel like this is about us having great potential to arrive at something new and fulfilling for ourselves. And it's touching Queen of Swords. So swords are air, they speak to the mind. This energy is about speaking truth, unapologetically speaking truth, and really just being clear in ourselves. And what it feels like is that this came up in a really beautiful reading that I received from a friend. Really powerful. There's so much power in setting intentions, and that's what I'm getting here is there's a lot of intentionality in the Queen of Swords. And when she, when the inner Queen of Swords that we all have really shines through, you know, when that's the dominant energy, and it's coming out here, so it's the dominant energy, right? So when that's coming through, we are able to attain a new level of fulfillment for ourselves, and we're able to reach new levels of freedom in this life that we're living. Again, I really get that for where we are. It's about this life that we're living, and yeah, freedom, empowerment, clarity, all that good stuff. New level of inner peace. This is also about peace and fulfillment. So peace by way of, it may be speaking up, it might be by way of clarifying our own intentions to ourselves, but fulfillment through our own power of clarity is really coming through here. So yeah, beautiful, beautiful messages. What else do we have? Yeah, Yeah, so going back to the first message, what it feels like is that there's hidden opportunity in the, I don't know, I'm getting kind of like in the jungle we're finding ourselves in the landscape of this this new week, in this new year. There's hidden opportunity. There's hidden opportunity. We just have to decide to see it, to stay open to it, to, again, to be intentional about staying open to that. So we might say to ourselves, okay, it just looks like a lot of crap, but I'm going to stay open to an opportunity shining its way through. I'm going to stay open to the possibility that it's much more than what I'm seeing right now. So again, we have this really confusing energy here with Seven of Cups. So on the one hand, it's options. On the other, it's just a lot of crazy random stuff going on and how to discern, right? But I'm seeing with this earth energy here, earth is all the tangible, goody, yummy resources that we love as human beings, right? This card speaks to opportunity. It's kind of hidden here. It's reversed. It's touching this energy. So in this jungle of confusion and options, there is the challenge, but also the, I don't say like the juicy adventure and the challenge, right? Both, is to really allow ourselves to stay open to whatever might be hiding amongst the chaos that's actually super beneficial, that's actually a fresh start or something new presenting itself in such a way where we can enjoy it on a physical human level. Because again, this is earth, right? So that's going on. And we have Six of Pentacles reversed. This is that decision-making practical energy, because again, it's pentacles. Pentacles are earth, so earth gets into that practicality, right? And the way this reads to me, it's almost like there's a need to be really decisive about staying open, because otherwise, like a wave, and again, cups are water, right? So like a wave of confusion, this could just swallow us whole. So we have to really be intentional about staying open to those options. Again, even if we can't see it right away, even if we temporarily feel lost in it, yeah, there's power in actively deciding to stay open. There's power in connecting with our own intentions, our own needs. I know for myself, I've had a hugely powerful experience wherein I honored my needs differently, and that became a boundary. And it felt so good to have that boundary for myself. And so that was my Queen of Swords shining through, right? So I'm seeing the power in all of that really being important this week as we really open up this year and see what it's all about. So I'm going to see if there aren't any other messages that want to come through, and maybe that will cap this reading. What else? What's helpful for us to know? But yeah, I feel like there's so much potential here. There's so much possibility. It's up to us to really embrace it, right? But there's so much. All right. Yeah. Okay. So this just kind of reinforces the need for our deliberateness, the need for our intentionality. It may be, no, more than maybe, what this involves is a shift in how we think. So that's going to feel maybe like exercising a muscle that maybe it wants to stay a little bit loose or flaccid. It's not, you know, but it's that I'll just show you what I'm getting and see how this lands for you. We have 10 of Swords here. Swords are air. They speak to our mental processes. This is like a death of old thinking, old patterns of thought, and it's touching these other energies here. So that means what I'm getting from this is it may be super hard to see past our pain, see past whatever burdens we've been carrying in the past year. It may be the biggest challenge for us to even stay open to the outcome being different than it has. But when we do that, when we just allow a little bit of opening, a little bit of possibility to shine through, so even as we acknowledge our pain, our sadness, our grief, whatever crap went down, we can acknowledge all of that, right? But we don't have to stay in it. And that's what I'm getting here is it may be really tempting to just stay in it instead of setting new intentions for ourselves, instead of finding our way around to the possibility and the options and the opportunities. But they are there. They are there for the taking. The more open we can stay, the more we can find ways to soothe the pain, the upset, the old patterning in our brains. And that's work. That's very deliberate work. But the more we do that work, the more we can find our way back to the possibilities. And again, set the new intentions. Feel clearer in what those are. What are our true needs? What are our true desires? How can we find ways to really ask from a place of worthiness? That's a very Abraham Hicks message right there. We are worthy of the things that we desire. So yeah, again, part of it is, okay, it's a new year. We can leave the old stuff behind us, at least in terms of timeline, right? Thank God it's 2022. But what does that mean? What does that mean for each and every one of us? And how can we take advantage of the options? How can we see the potential? How can we ground ourselves enough to see the potential and not get lost in the confusion or the old thinking or the unclarity, right? That therein lies the challenge. But again, everything that we've come through this past year, and I do feel like that's where these beautiful energies shine through, right? Everything that has maybe forced us to get clearer, and then having that clarity lead to at least a glimpse of fulfillment or freedom or new potential, for a new life. Everything that we are in the process of facilitating here, we can have more of that going forward. So, yeah, to recap, we're moving away from the old year, right? And there's a lot of possibility in what lies ahead. There's also a feeling of confusion and uncertainty. But there's opportunities hidden within that. There's opportunities hidden within everything that lies ahead. And that's a big old landscape, right? That's a lot of possibility. So there's hidden opportunities in there. And what we need is to be really intentional about staying open to those and not letting our old thought patterns, old thinking, old wounds get the better of us so that all we see is confusion. Because it's so much more than that. We just have to let that open up and embrace the possibility that's there. So, I hope that this has been helpful. It's another twisty, turny reading, as always, it's always interesting. It's always something new, even if it uses some of the same language or the same ideologies that really resonate for me. It's always something new. And I hope that you have a happy new year. I hope that you really find ways to embrace that clarity that is within you. And if it's waiting to shine through, Find ways to let it, you know? If that's journaling, if that's setting intentions, if that's creating something new, if that's speaking your mind, you know, where it feels safe and grounding to do so, you know? But I hope that you find ways to really embrace that clarity and get a little bit more of that peace, that fulfillment, that feeling of freedom, you know, in the expressing, in the intentionality, because you can have that for yourselves. And yeah, however it turns out, I hope that you have a satisfying week. And I hope that you are enjoying the new year. Also, if you're interested in supporting me and supporting the work that I do, check out my Patreon. The link is down below. If you like this video, hit like. I'll leave it at that. If you have not yet subscribed, but you'd like to see more of these, please at least consider subscribing. I would love to have you on board. And yeah, again, I will see you soon. Bye for now.